Senator Dr. Mboni Kalwale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is not a casual decision that the House is about to make. It is a decision that is hinged in the Constitution of Kenya. Any attempt by any person, Mr. Speaker, other than the National Assembly and the Senate, any attempt to make laws should be at all times be declared null and void. Why do I say this, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, because of the provisions of Article 94 of the Constitution, which, Mr. Speaker, states as follows: that the legislative authority of the Republic is derived from the people, and the national level is vested in exercise by Parliament. In subsection 5, it goes further to clarify that no person or body other than Parliament has the power to make provision having the force of law in Kenya except under authority conferred by this Constitution or by legislation. Mr. Speaker, this is the import of the annulment that we are all supporting. We would like the minister, upon receiving the annulment, to realize that she was trying to impersonate Parliament. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I wonder what became of the Kenya School of Government, and if it is still functional. These 22 ministers, have they been given an opportunity to sit there so that they know how Parliament works, how government works, and how the judiciary works? I therefore strongly, Mr. Speaker, support the annulment and want to laugh at 2 points. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is lack of public participation. I laugh at it. And the second one, the suggestion by the minister that they were contented by the fact that this public participation that they are relying on was done 7 years ago. Why do I laugh at both? I laugh and dismiss the stand of the minister on public participation because, thanks to taking for granted the role of the public in lawmaking, many pieces of legislation that have gone through this House have always been thrown out by the courts. Secondly, why do I laugh off the issue of public participation that is 7 years old? I would like it to occur to the minister, Mr. Speaker, that a child who was 14 years old 7 years ago is today 21. And Mr. Speaker, that child is now an adult who is able to advise us on how a proposed law that we are making is going to affect him or is affecting him. In fact, it's unfortunate, and I think the clerks at the desk will advise me. We had a bill called the Public Participation Bill of 2024. I have missed a total of 5 sittings in this parliament. I don't know whether that bill was able to pass through. If it has not, then we need to see through the Public Participation Bill so that we create the act for all who care to understand the irreducible minimum for public participation. Why, Mr. Speaker? Because there are 3 strong pillars in public participation which you cannot take for granted, and the minister better appreciates this. 1, we have the political pillar. 2, we have the pillar on policy. And finally, Mr. Speaker, we have the social pillar. They are not things that can just be wished away. If you don't address these things, Mr. Speaker, that is how we end up with laws that are either in conflict with other laws, or in conflict with the Constitution, or in conflict with the aspirations of the people who have donated the sovereign power to us. Mr. Speaker, I support the committee that we are now. Thank you.
Senator Alun Cheruyoti.
Mr. Speaker, I have tried to get a copy of this report for a while now, because I wanted to read and establish the full reasons. It has taken time, but nonetheless, I'll comment on a very specific thing that I wanted to say. You know, Mr. Speaker, we live in a country where, for whatever reason, saying bad things about institutions, about individuals that are in public office, seem to be the vogue thing. And everybody is trying to outdo each other, Mr. Speaker, on public platform, here in Parliament, in funerals, to say the nastiest things about public institutions and individuals. I don't understand, Mr. Speaker, as a public figure, what people gain from doing such. Because unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, I have, with a bit of experience, taken time to study and appreciate the world as it is today, and realize that there is nothing unique about us as a country. We have all the indicators and the markers of a great republic. But unfortunately, due to obsession with negativity, Mr. Speaker, if somebody was to learn from us, they would imagine that perhaps they live in the world's most filthiest or most corrupt nation. Yet look at what we are doing this afternoon, Mr. Speaker. A committee of the Senate is annulling regulations that have been proposed by the executive. You will never find this in a headline. But you dare make a decision, Mr. Speaker, where you agree with something that has been proposed by the executive. Tomorrow, the Standard newspaper will carry a headline: Parliament disappoints again. Social media critics, very useless people, Mr. Speaker, some of whom have absolutely no record of anything useful they've ever done in this life, but are very critical of this institution called Parliament, Mr. Speaker, simply because they hold a different view. And sometimes Parliament does things which in their wisdom, Mr. Speaker, consider to be right. What am I pursuing, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Senator Boni Karwale.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just would like to request the Senator of Kericho to consider withdrawing the unparliamentary remark that the people on social media are useless people. We have many people, including the President of the United States of America, is on social media. The President of Kenya has the biggest following on social media. I have a following running in millions on social media. We are not useless. Is in order to use unparliamentary language against all of us who use social media, Mr. Speaker? Could he be asked to withdraw and apologize?
Mr. Speaker, I know the Senator for Kakamega is an addict of social media and loves that space. Perhaps he may even have been scrolling his phone. That's why he didn't get my comments. I said there are some. That's very basic and elementary, which I'm sure my whip understands. That it is not a wholesome condemnation of everybody who uses social media. That there are people, in fact I was quick enough to qualify, that there are people of no known achievements, but they have made it their business, Mr. Speaker, to disparage this house when it does duty on a certain item to which they disagree with the eventual finding. And I said, today is one such occasion, Mr. Speaker, that, for example, if Parliament was to do, if today we are to agree with the report of this committee and we eventually vote on it and agree with them, like many of us are saying, that if our committee on delegated legislation is telling us, good people, reject these regulations, it would be a good thing, because many times you are criticized and are told you are an appendage of the executive, that you agree with everything. But there are many times, Mr. Speaker, that this House does great things. And it doesn't mean necessarily, Mr. Speaker, that disagreeing with the executive is a great thing. Agreeing with them also is equally as good, Mr. Speaker. Because Parliament is independent and it makes its decision based on what is in the best interest of the people that vote for you to come to this House, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I want to request that on days such as this, Mr. Speaker, that Parliament flexes its muscles and sends a minister back to the drawing board and says, on this one we do not agree. Just like on other days we agree with them, Mr. Speaker, that it should be given equal prominence as they do. In fact, because now my whip, Senator Boni Alwale, has mentioned about social media, and I know he's an avid user, Mr. Speaker, he will help by either tweeting, which I know he loves doing, or on his Facebook account, to give an account of many such decisions when Parliament takes it. Because when you read through what people say sometimes, you'd think that there's nothing useful that Parliament does. Yet each afternoon, Mr. Speaker, we transact business that is meaningful to the country. The decisions are informed by what is the collective good interest, Mr. Speaker, of the people that you represent in this House, Mr. Speaker, which may not necessarily be that which somebody else may want, either a newspaper editor, a commentator on social issues, Mr. Speaker, a particular politician, Mr. Speaker. You know, unfortunately, our hands are tied most occasions because we don't work for ourselves. We are simply but employees of other people who send us here and say, transact in my best interest, make a decision. This is a very important regulation, for example, because the climate change, Mr. Speaker, and environment management and coordination is a very topical issue globally. Countries, Mr. Speaker, hoggle over each other on these positions. In fact, there's a lot that has been said about other countries that have walked away from commitments that have been made in other places in the climate. The UN Secretary General, Mr. Speaker, for example, spends tons of time speaking on this topic every time he addresses a gathering of the UN or even in public spaces, because climate change is real, Mr. Speaker, and it's affecting our life on a daily basis. And that is why Parliament is telling the minister that you must do the right thing, that you must follow the laid down procedure, that we just amended the Statutory Instruments Act, Mr. Speaker, and drawn from the power granted by the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, have agreed that Parliament has the final say on this, that the people's representatives will either give you the nod to set the regulations or disagree with you if you don't do it in accordance with the law. Public participation, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that Parliament, and I heard somebody say, I don't know who spoke about public participation, it is us as an institution that has failed the country. How can it be, Mr. Speaker, that 13 years after the promulgation, actually 15, this is 2025, after the promulgation of the new constitution, Mr. Speaker, for 3 terms of Parliament, we have been unable to pass legislation that guides public participation, Mr. Speaker, as such that institutions, public entities, county assemblies, judiciary, all these bodies, Mr. Speaker, are left groping in the dark, trying to establish what exactly is public participation. Citizens are fully aware about this, and many times when you make a decision, and it could be a decision even as simple as establishing a secondary school in a primary school ground, as is normally the case back in our villages. If you find a primary school that has a lot of space, many times you find the parents gather and they say, we want to establish. Therefore, we are calling upon you, our MP or senator or whoever, to help us establish an institution. Then another faction emerges and they say, no. We need to be consulted. We are the stakeholders. So citizens appreciate the importance of public participation, Mr. Speaker. But as Parliament, we haven't done justice to the country. I know there is a law before the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, on public participation. And it has taken a while in our counterpart house. It will be important, Mr. Speaker, for us to conclude. Actually, it will be monumental failure on our part, Mr. Speaker, if we conclude this session of Parliament without a substantive law on public participation. Last time we tried, the senator for Busia, then Senator Amos Wako, brought a bill before this House, and we passed it. Unfortunately, our colleagues in the National Assembly had a different view on that matter, on how that matter needs to be handled. Being the House that we are, Mr. Speaker, which is the House of reflection, as most Senates are, Mr. Speaker, we are waiting what will be the eventual decision on that matter. Because eventually, Mr. Speaker, once they pass that bill, and I hope they can do it even during this period as we conclude on, as we head on our recess, Mr. Speaker, in the next few hours, I think by tomorrow afternoon, by the time we come back in September, hopefully, Mr. Speaker, if there is no interruption, you know, Mr. Speaker, I don't know why, for some very weird reason, each time we are just about to go on recess, you see a notice of an impeachment of a governor. And somehow it interferes with our programs, Mr. Speaker. So maybe probably we need not to go on any recess if we want governors to survive, Mr. Speaker. I've just seen a notice somewhere as well. I don't know for which county, Mr. Speaker. But I'm just concerned, Mr. Speaker, that each time after we have worked so hard, and we are about to proceed on recess, Mr. Speaker.
Just a minute, Majority Leader. What is your point of order, Senator Okech?
Mr. Speaker, the standing orders of this House are very clear. If there is a member of this House who is anticipating any debate, it needs to be very clear. You're not allowed by our own standing orders, Mr. Speaker, to anticipate a debate. If the majority leader has got some debate that is anticipating on us, so that we can be able to organize ourselves, because some of us have got serious plans for our recess. And you know, anything that comes from majority leader, Mr. Speaker, is not a small matter. It's a very serious issue. You can't just say something that is not there. So is it in order for majority leader, Mr. Speaker, to anticipate a debate that we don't know about? And if he's anticipating one, why can't he just declare to us so that we can know, Mr. Speaker?
The issue is, Senator Okech is asking you to disclose which county is this. I don't know for what
Mr. Speaker, I know Senator Okech's interest in this matter. It is not a debate, Mr. Speaker, but I will choose not to indulge, Mr. Speaker, in that conversation. But the point I was making, Mr. Speaker, is that as a House, even in these matters where county assemblies consult citizens, either with their budget, impeachment proceedings, they struggle. Because as a House, we have not provided guidance on who needs to be consulted.